On this edition of Independent Sources, NYC Inc., an immigrant woman makes a small business out of an ancient art form.
I do a lot of Indian brides and they want amazing, like very dark color, especially Punjabi and Gujarati brides. That's different.
And Saints and the City, an art exhibit that explores the cross-section of spiritualism and urban culture.
It's always a social, political statement, but it's brought in a sensitive manner and in a way of dignity.
Those stories and more coming up on Independent Sources. Welcome to Independent Sources, bringing you news from New York's ethnic and immigrant communities. I'm Sarah Pizon. This week, we'll take a look at some of the ethnic and immigrant-inspired artistry that can be seen all around New York. You may have noticed that henna tattoos are growing in popularity in the city. These days, it's not only North African or East Indian immigrants sporting these intricate ink drawings. It's anyone from North Brooklyn or Manhattan's Lower East Side. Farzana Fatema decided to take advantage of this trend and start a small business adorning the arms and hands of anyone intrigued by this ancient art. Abby Ashola spoke to Farzana about her business and the history of henna.
Welcome, Farzana.
Hello.
And welcome, Laura, who will be modeling henna for us later. So, Farzana, what exactly is henna?
Henna is a natural thing. It comes out from a henna plant. People dry the leaves and they make it like fine powder. And I just take the powder and mix it with the lemon juice and essential oils.
Oh, wow.
It's completely natural.
Okay. So I know that henna has roots in Africa, in the Middle East, in India. But can you tell us about the tradition of henna in Bangladesh, where you're from?
It's almost same. It's kind of a part that like it's a part like decoration. Like if there is an event like birthday or any holiday or wedding, so you get your nails done, you get your makeup done. Henna is another part. You get your henna done.
Yeah. How important is that?
It's very important for females.
Really?
It's such a beautiful thing. So it's very important.
Okay.
You can decorate yourself.
And are men doing it as well?
Very less. Like if they do it, it's very like other designs. Like instead of flower or something, they sometimes I do most of the time Moroccan pattern on men's because they are kind of geometric shapes and not flower too much.
Okay. So you're going to be demonstrating some of the henna here with Laura. Yes. So you guys can take it away.
Are you excited?
Of course. We're all excited.
So this is the henna cone. I make my own cones. So sometimes it's silver, sometimes it's clear paper. Thank you.
And you got a bit of a head start there.
Yes.
And these are flowers, or?
It's flower.
And how common is this design?
Well, I always do, most of the time I do over my own thing, my own mind, so it's never same. It's like as a snowflakes, it's never same. Even you tell me to copy my own design, I'm like, oh my God, that's the hard part for me. So it's always different. But it's common that people use paisley, flowers, and vines, leaves, like that.
Okay.
But when it's, as I told you, Moroccan pattern, this is different. It's geometric pattern. And that's the henna paste. It comes green, never black.
What's the difference between black and green?
So the green is, you can understand this is a paste from a leaf. But black henna is different thing. It's black, there is no such thing like black henna.
Really?
Yeah, it's not henna, it's the hair color sometimes, or PPD calls. They just mix it. Because natural henna needs lots of aftercare. You cannot wash your hand for 10 to 12 hours to develop the stain. Where if you use black color, the hair color, you don't have to wait. You just get you put it and you get the color. That's it. So sometimes people just don't want to wait.
I see.
But the problem is this henna lasts a long time, about 2 weeks. Depends person to person. But black henna is, you can get a very quick reaction from it.
Yeah, I've heard about people actually having allergic reactions to henna.
Yeah, people don't understand that black henna is not actually henna. We should not call that henna. That's hair color or other chemicals.
And I understand that the quality of the henna is really important to you.
Yes, of course. Yes, I do a lot of Indian brides, and they want amazing, like very dark color, especially Punjabi and Gujarati brides. There's difference. So they want heavy dark color. So only fresh henna can give that dark color, not other henna. If it's old or pre-made store henna, it cannot give you that good color.
And where are you getting your henna?
Well, I import my henna powder from India. So when I make my own paste, it's fresh. That's why it's fresh. But if people buy it from the store or something like a local Indian store or grocery, it's very old. You know, it's like food that if you keep it outside, after 2 days, it's not good anymore. But people use it because they don't have good henna powder or good stuff to use. So, yep, that's the henna.
Okay. And how have you been able to grow your business? I understand that you travel around, you do events, you do weddings.
I do birthdays, bat mitzvahs, everything. So I have my website and my social media links like Facebook, Instagram. So people see my works and they like it.
Yeah.
That's
and you
how
did
it is.
Anne Hathaway, right?
Actually, I didn't do it on her. It was for a movie. So, yep, it was for another bride was in the set, and I did henna on her. And it was a Moroccan scene. So the pattern was not flowery. It was Moroccan pattern.
Okay. And you said you do bar mitzvahs?
Yes.
Wow.
It's for most of the time is when it's a kind of birthday. So the little kids get it done.
Okay, so henna is pretty much...
it's very common
It's
nowadays.
becoming popular. It's not just an Indian thing.
No. It's very fun.
So right now you're doing more of the vines for the flower here?
Yeah, I'm just adding more. That's how it is. You can always add more and more and more.
Okay.
And as I told you before, I do a lot of Indian brides, and Indian brides does heavy, like totally heavy. And my book said there, you can see, it's like up to elbow or sometimes higher than elbow, and with their feet also, like up to ankle, up to knee. It's like very heavy.
Wow.
And these patterns are kind of party pattern, like where the guests come and they get it done.
Okay. So after you're done, when is she allowed to wash it off?
She's not allowed to wash it for 10 to 12 hours.
Wow. So it's just going to settle down?
She has to wait for 1 to 2 hours, let it dry, flake it off, and then you're gonna wait. By tomorrow morning, after 24 hours, you'll see very dark color because by your body temperature and weather, everything helps to get it dark.
And henna's not just for temporary tattoos. People use it for other things, right?
Yes, people use it to dye their hair. And for hair is not actually the main purpose, not for dyeing, its main purpose for strength your hair. I'm not sure, but I heard that it's very good for hair, especially for dandruff and if someone's hair fall. And in addition, the benefit is if you have gray hair, it colors your hair.
Oh, really?
Yes. And if you have dark hair like me, it gives you a shine. When you go outside, you see a purple shine in your hair.
So that's the natural henna, not the black one?
No, not black henna, all natural henna.
Okay. Well, Farzana, thank you so much for coming on and demonstrating on Laura. She's going to continue to do this. But thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. So as you can see, this part is wet, this part is kind of dry. So you're going to wait 1 hour or something. Okay?
Beautiful.
And if you need to see anything, aftercare or other pictures, you can definitely go on my website.
Still to come on the show, an underappreciated artist uses her original style to explore issues of urbanism and spirituality. So stay tuned. Urban Present-day myths and latter-day santos is the second of a 5-part series of exhibits planned by El Museo del Barrio to highlight the work of female artists. This new exhibit will feature the work of Nuyorican artist Rodriguez Calero, who goes by the name of Roca. I spoke with her about her unique technique called acrollage and her influences.
Roca, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
So your artwork fuses figures of popular urban culture as well as Renaissance, and it has some religious motifs in it. Tell us what has inspired you to do so, to merge all these different elements?
Partially it's my background. Well, not partially, I guess all of it has to do with my background. I was raised a Catholic and also was always very curious about biblical stories, and a lot has to do, like with any person, has to do with their community and their environment.
So how do you create the link between, you know, pop culture, high art, and religion?
I think it's always been done through the centuries. Maybe we don't perceive it as that, but it's something that I think artists, people have always done, relate what's happening at their time.
Let's focus on the Ángel and Maria.
Ángel y Maria.
So tell us, are you using particular saints in this piece?
I'm not using any particular saints. It's a play on many things, because I think my works have always sort of like a commentary on what's happening. So Ángel y Maria is sort of based on the angel and Mary story of the Bible, but it's taking it now to what's happening now. So being Puerto Rican, Ángel y Maria, their names, which we use. And so I wanted to reinterpret what I thought Ángel y Maria would be. So that's how that painting came about. And also has to do with people of color, because I don't believe what we've always been given as the imagery of the biblicals. They were of European or sort of Caucasian features. I feel in the past everyone was a person of color. So.
Yeah, I know. I've noticed that in a lot of your different pieces. Do you do like current events or the issue of race at all in America kind of stems also part of like your inspiration for a lot of these pieces?
I don't know if it has to do. I think it always comes back to me and what I am and who I am.
So, what is, for example, let's talk about another piece, the down low piece. What is your connection to the down low?
Well, down low is also sort of a very urban. It's what's happening.
What does it mean?
Down low is a term that's used basically of people who I would say married, but are in denial of their preference and sexes. So down low, they go on the side and seek out a person of their own gender. So that's what down low comes from.
Okay.
So I remember in the news there was a lot of, this was coming out in the talk shows and in the media about down low. So I thought it was appropriate to do my own interpretation of down low. And so that's what that piece was all about. But all the imagery that I do is iconic. So it's not making fun of, it's just bringing a situation or making one aware of what is happening, but not demeaning. I'm not, how can I put it? I'm not putting down what a person does. I'm just bringing it to light.
Right. So, for example, for a piece like that, where do you get those images?
I get them basically from magazines. Just magazines and anything I think of interest.
So let's talk about a little bit about your technique, acrollage. First of all, explain to us what acrollage is.
Okay, acrollage is a term that I coined to describe my style of painting. I thought, because when I was painting, and and when I was evolving in my artwork, people would say, but what are you doing? It had a different feel and a different presence. So I thought it was important as an artist, as a woman, and being Puerto Rican, I give it a terminology to stand out, because if people were making it seem of importance or questioning, that's what I had to do. So acrollage really comes from what I do. It's using the acrylic medium and colors, collaging. So, and to me, the acrollage is sort of like a glorified monoprint, because my background was in printmaking. So, and I paint flat. So it looked like I was always doing a big print. So I would just pour glazes of colors and textures and appropriated imagery, and I would turn them into plastic skins, the imagery. So that's how the term acrollage came about, and that's what I coined my signature style of painting.
Yeah, and it's cool.
Thank you.
So what has been the feedback from your work?
The feedback has always been one that's always very positive, and of all ages and all nationalities. I think people are fascinated because I think it touches them in a certain way, in a spiritual way. I've been told religious. My work is not religious. It's spiritual. The collage is sort of edgy, but at the same time it's, and the paintings also, but it's always a social, political statement. But it's brought in a sensitive manner and in a way of dignity. And humor. Humor is very important, and the colors, you know. So you have to sort of seduce the viewer into your work, and whichever way it appeals to them, it does. And so it's always one of interest and enjoyment. I'm sure everyone will enjoy this exhibit.
I'm sure they will.
Thank
you.
Thank you again.
The Urban Myths and Latter-day Santos exhibit will run from July 22nd to October 17th at El Museo del Barrio. When we come back, going natural and loving it. Finally from us, a photo exhibit celebrating afros that's currently running in Bedford-Stuyvesant has prompted us to revisit a piece we aired about 2 years ago. The afro is a hairstyle that's both revered and reviled and is once again being sported by slackers and scholars alike. This style is just one of the ways men and women of color are deciding to go natural, foregoing the chemicals and hot combs often used to straighten their naturally curlier hair. Producer Nikki Miller filed this report about why more women of color in particular are deciding to go natural.
The true definition of natural hair is when you're not using any chemicals to change the structure of the hair. And in that way, I mean change the texture.
Anu Perstonia is the owner of Kamet Kinks, a natural hair salon in downtown Brooklyn.
We have clients who come to us for years who have been natural for years because they've been wearing their hair in braids and twists and locks for many years. And then we have a whole new batch of clients who are coming in who want to return to natural. Many of them have had their hair chemically processed since they were children and have no idea what their natural hair is like, how to treat it, what it will feel like, what it will look like. They have no clue about it, so they are on a discovery path about their hair.
But that's not always been as easy for Black women in particular, who've had to contend with what mainstream media deems as beautiful and acceptable.
We are in a society that is built on, marketing, and so we are marketed to have this long, silky hair that swings and shines and all of that. And our hair is not necessarily that way. Whatever way your hair is, you should be able to work with it and accept it and embrace it.
A conversation about natural hair ultimately leads to one of the more prominent styles.
Oh, Afro.
The style was recently celebrated in a lifestyle and coffee table book by Michael July.
In the 60s, when everybody was trying to have the same shape, round, big Afro, you know, you had to look like the Jackson 5, you know. Today, everybody's wearing their hair in a way that's more in tune with them, their texture. Everybody's not trying to look alike. We are slowly but surely learning to accept ourselves fully, accept our culture and our Africanness and what that means, and embracing it.
Take my glasses off. I'm just going to mess it all up like that.
The vivacious June Terry is a natural hair pioneer, the first model to wear an afro in a print publication. Known as the First Lady, June became a celebrity when she was featured in Ebony magazine.
So a lot of people will say, I know who you are. You're the first lady. You're the first lady to wear natural. I am not the first person to go natural, but the first one that became famous, let's put it like that.
People love to be in style. They don't want to be different. I am different. I am different because I'm myself. I do not follow any other style.
This was done professionally.
Though her hair led her to make history in Ebony magazine, the attention wasn't always positive.
I had decided, I said, I think I wanted to work at Martin's. Martin's was another very popular store in Brooklyn. And I went through the interview and everything all right, and then they called me back and they said they could not hire me because my hair was too tall. If I cut it down to about that, they'd be more than happy to have, you know, they would think if I had a disease or something, I had to cut my hair. So at the same time, this white lady went past. Remember when they had the beehive, the hair was all piled up on the head? And here she had this thing about 10 feet tall. I said, wait a minute, her hair is tall. Oh, but that's the style. Okay. Martin got closed down 2 years after that. I made sure of that. I said, oh, you can't do that to people.
Terry is now a fashion designer who works specifically with African fashion and textiles. She says it has less to do with her hair and more to do with embracing her heritage and herself.
I'm not insecure about anything. I don't have to worry about whether you like my hair, you don't like my hair. You know, I know who I am. In fact, I had one time a lady asked me, well, who are you? I said, I am a queen. Oh, she said. I bust out laughing. She was upset, not me. Because I do feel like a queen. You don't have to have money to feel like somebody. All you need to have the initiative to be yourself and be natural with it.
Nikki Miller, Independent Sources.
The exhibit Afros, featuring images from Michael July's 2013 book, will run through August 1st at the House of Art Gallery in Bed-Stuy. That's our show this week. Thanks for staying tuned. Till next time, be independent-minded.